From Kyrie wanting to make Brooklyn home to some big performances by some key players last night in the loss to Philly, there's a lot going on in hashtag Nets world. Brian Lewis is the New York Post beat writer for the Nets, and he joins us now to talk all things Brooklyn basketball. Brian, first and foremost, thanks for joining us. Tough loss last night, 137 to 133. Seth Curry, Kyrie, Nick Claxton all had some big nights, but it wasn't enough. What were your takeaways?
I'd say it was a better effort than the November game down there when a full-strength Nets team got beat pretty badly by a skeleton crew that didn't have Embiid or Harden or Maxey. You do always have to credit the opponent, but I don't think Philly won this game as much as the Nets lost it the other night. They lost it because they were horrendously sloppy in the second quarter to hand them points. And they lost it because Ben Simmons was essentially terrible for 2 quarters and got benched in the fourth. My single biggest takeaway is that Brooklyn has to get Ben Simmons going, both in the short term and for the long haul.
Well, in the short term and long haul, how can they get Ben Simmons going?
Well, that's a tough question because we aren't allowed to see practice, right? So I can't tell you with 100% certainty whether his problems are physical or mental. Remember, he had a bad back, which I understand some pundits, accused of being falsified. But the fact of the matter is, nobody goes under the knife just for the fun of it. Yeah. He had a herniated disc. He has also said he had nerve damage. So, there were a number of physical issues that he dealt with last year, but he also dealt with mental health issues. I don't know how much of this problem is physical because we can't see him working out. I don't know how much of this problem is mental or emotional. Just judging, if you ask me to read between the lines of comments from his teammates and coaching staff, I'm going to assume that it's probably a little bit at this point more mental than physical. That means just working through it, supporting him, prodding him, holding him accountable, doing all of these things every day, every game, until something at least starts to click. Because they can't win at the level that they want to if he keeps playing like this.
And that's something that we are definitely going to keep our eye on. Let's talk about, switch gears and talk about Kyrie. His agent said that the ball is in Brooklyn's court in terms of signing him to an extension. I'm sure it's kind of hard to forget the past drama, but the man has been hooping this season. He's been locked into basketball. So what are you hearing about a possible extension?
I'm hearing the same thing that I heard this summer. When I reported that he wanted to come back, he was only really going to be able to do that on the 1-year opt-in. He wants a long-term guaranteed deal. The Nets, as of yet, are understandably gun-shy about giving him one. Because as you point out, he's been great when he's been on the court. Not that they necessarily expect a vaccine mandate to come back and keep him off the court, but they do have to be concerned that there is always something. So the two sides haven't been able to come to an agreement. They haven't been willing to give him a contract to his liking. And he doesn't appear that he wants to be doing this on a short-term deal to short-term deal. He doesn't appear to be comfortable with that. So that's why you have an impasse.
That's something that's definitely going to be in the headlines as the deadline for that extension to get done gets closer. Last night was the Nets' 7th game without KD. They're 2-5 without him. How important are the upcoming Pistons and Knicks games, and what do you think they have to do to get back on a winning track before KD returns?
I'm not convinced that they're going to get on a winning track to the extent that you saw when KD was here. They went on an 18-2 run with him. I don't expect to see them winning at any kind of clip like that until KD is back. Now, what I'd say is last year when KD got hurt, he missed 21 straight games and they went 5-16. They lost 11 straight games, including 3 in a row to Utah, Denver, and Boston by a combined 78 points, right? Now, this time when he got hurt, they kept swearing up and down that they were going to be better suited to deal with that. because everybody was on the same page and everybody wanted to be here. Unlike, say, James Harden and some others that didn't want to be here last year. Their first 3 games, they were poor. But since then, they've been competitive. They've been 2-2. You know, you're talking about really narrow losses where the rally's falling short in Phoenix and in Philadelphia. So, I mean, if they're 500-ish, somewhat above 500 the rest of the way until he comes back, whenever that is, and he'll be reevaluated in give or take 2 weeks, a little under 2 weeks, that's not a bad return. And that's certainly far superior to what they did last year when they lost it.
Well, Brian Lewis got us caught up on all things Brooklyn basketball. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, anytime. Thanks for having me.